Hey, what's up, everybody? Well, we got some more BS coming out of Hollywood. Another white propaganda attack on Afro history, men, and to the real sisters. Although the black woman is going to approve of this, the one that have been toxic to our neighborhoods, community, and to good men, right? They're going to approve of this, but and we're going to do a live based on this and a lot of the things that's going on in the so-called black community. All right, and it's going to be another wake-up call, but in the wake of this, right? There's another queen that's getting her due, and I did a video about her, but I'm gonna put it on this channel. And so I'm almost done with it, and we're going to talk about her, Queen Nzinga. All right. Now, the woman king. I want y'all to understand that the woman king. If you are a black female or one of them hotep dudes that have a warped sense of what actually happened in African history, the title alone should make you upset. The title alone should show you that the people that is putting this garbage out is disrespecting the entire so-called black population. And Afro people get the sleight of hand that this is. The Queen of England, the Queen of Scotland, Mary Queen of Scots, right? The princesses, the white monarch female never adopts the moniker of the male. You don't see that in any culture, any other culture. You do not see that. You do not see people excited about the slap in the face that this title alone is. The woman king, not queen, the woman king. They took the black woman and said that she is masculine as hell, and then she has supplanted the weak so-called black man. That's the imagination of Hollywood. This is what they want you to be. This is how they want your children to think. No one should take their child to see this mess. No one should see this mess from the title alone. And this is why I say it's another white propaganda tool from the bowels of Hollywood, which is an outright attack on Afro history, Afro men and sisters, the real women. Because a real Afro-melanated woman would not accept being called a man. No female would, unless they want to destroy men and take their place. All right, so let's break this down. Let me greet everybody real quick. Hovorten hadu gudag ola oitrebang vasaslos bonjour mes amis. Kedabawani konnichiwa. Ni hao ni ama sani banani jambo bargani. Assalamu alaikum and shalom. All right, so as we get into this, I want to remind you first. Let's get the thumbs up. Don't forget to get those thumbs up. My PayPal me and Cash App will be in the description box. Comments, your comment, I want to hear your comments on this. All the so-called brothers that stand for something, I want to know what your comments are going to be on this. All right, to donate to the channel and what we do in the community, my PayPal and Cash App will be in the description box. All right, so let's get into this and let's stomp a mud hole in this ideology that Hollywood and the sellouts are trying to promote amongst Afro people. Let's break down what is this dynamic that we're talking about. All right, let's break it down. And so From what I know of female leaders of Africa, none of which was able to preserve um, their people, all right, none of which have anything that existed past them. And basically, there was a woman that did a thing on the children of Queen Njinga, Njinga. And the issue with Queen Njinga is this, that she had offspring that is totally bleached out, meaning that they're completely white and have turned out to be supremacists. Go figure. All right. See, this is what happens when the female opens up to any male. It doesn't happen in reverse. Your children are who the father is, and they realize that. All right. And so the Woman King movie is loosely based probably on this. The women that fought off the French by sleeping with them, and they didn't really fight them off. It was just a temporary thing. All right. And some other things. And Ta-Nehisi Coates, he sold us out when making the Black Panther by nerfing him in the movie, making him far weaker than he was. And it was just really pathetic what they did to the movie. It was a popular movie, and it was very popular because they nerfed the man again. All right. And so even the so-called blacks in Hollywood are in on this attack against the Afro man and his family, trying to elevate the black woman above only the Afro man, while she is subservient to the white woman and every other woman, and also their men. Understand this. It was the white women that convinced the black woman to leave their families and men and join them in their fight against the Caucasian man. Because the white woman did have grief and a beef with her man. But the Afro man and woman always worked together. They were the maids, we were the butlers. All right? We worked in concert with each other, even for the ones that stayed home. Like the Pullman porters. They were able to get richer because they learned things from the Caucasian men that they served on the trains. They told it to their wives. The wives listened, and they got rich off of it. Every time we build up a community, white people came in and destroyed it with lakes, the highway system, or they just shot us in the backs and bombed us from the air. That's the history of the United States. And now we have another kind of attack whereby they are attacking the essence of the Afro family and the strength of it. See, that's what white politicians do. They went after John Kerry's strength, that he got all these medals while serving in the military, and made him look weak, even though he was a swift boat captain, which means he had the most dangerous job in Vietnam or Korea. All right. Can't remember which one, but he was a swift boat operator, the most dangerous job. But that was his strength, and they used his strength against us. The strength of the Afro family is the Afro man. The black woman has never been the backbone of any damn thing. And so this is an out and outright attack on the Afro man. All right? So understand this. And we're going to talk about Queen Njinga. But Right now, let's talk about this movie. And I want y'all to pay attention to this. All right? Did y'all miss it or did y'all see it? It is, the trope here is we don't need no man. From the youngest, weakest woman to the oldest weak woman, they have the power to fight off the white man while at the same time, wait for it, while at the same time, they don't mind being seduced by him. I'm going to pause here for a minute because this has a lot to do with Queen Njinga. All right. When you look at the Daughters of the Trade, when you look at Daughters of the Trade, the book Daughters of the Trade, and how they documented how Caucasians were able to infiltrate Africa to the degree that they did, it was because the so-called melanated queen princess wannabe was laying up with them, told them all the secrets of the communities, took them into the interior where they weren't surviving. All right. And even in Hollywood, you've never seen a romantic scene where a black woman was as passionate about being with an Afro man. It's always some mess. Always some mess. You don't see passion between an Afro man and a black woman in Hollywood. You see action, but not passion. You don't see this. Period. And these are the same women that say they had the backs of Afro men. And this is why we call BS, bull. They never had our backs. Always a betrayal of the entire continent. We'll get into this when we talk about Queen Njinga. All right. But even then, she's called Queen Njinga. This movie is called The Woman King. Again, the slap in the face. And this right here, this is what it is all about. This is the message that Hollywood is trying to put out. Black woman, and we're saying, if you want to go for the Caucasian, we don't care. We'll just get passport, get the Asians or anybody but the so-called black woman. And that's the point. All right. We see that the Afro community has been betrayed by the BAW to the point that nothing will put it together again. All right. And they will sign up for these movies. They've been doing it. They've been doing backflips. And then they want to cry when Afro men say, you know what? We're done. All right. I want y'all to pay attention to this. She could be just as manly as that big man. Just as manly as that big man. She can beat this big man. That little woman can beat another trained man. Now, we know that in MMA and all other arts, even when the trans get involved, now the women are complaining because trans men are getting involved in their sports and whooping their behinds, breaking their jaws in MMA, right? But no, in make-believe, they want the daughters of men, the daughters in these homes, the children of the single black mother, to think that the Afro man, no matter how big he gets, is not stronger than the black woman. And these are the same people crying Y'all need to protect us. No, we don't. Apparently, based on this and how popular it is, you don't need our protection. We're saying we don't need yours, but since you can whoop our butts in your mind, then you don't need our protection. How did you get that way? Oops, Hollywood. All right. And so in Hollywood, this is the new trope. Weak black man needs to be saved by a black woman. Keep in mind, John Boyega is not a descendant of slaves in America. He wasn't part of the Buffalo Soldiers. He never, whoever he came from, never served in the military in the United States. Never had to fight against the Caucasian people in the United States. Weren't a part of the Gullah Geechee Wars. See, the Gullah Wars were Afro men who were fighting for freedom against the white men. And they were winning. What stopped that war was the Civil War. Period. And Afro men fought in the Civil War. Understand this. And then we fought to protect our towns. There was race riots because Afro men had guns and we stood up to white people. Always have. But the black woman decided to destroy our history and not give us that credit. Not the old school black women, not the sisters, but this new bunch here. The ones that don't need no man. The ones that put out the narrative for over the past 60 years that the Afro man ain't SH and they don't need him. So we're saying F them. All right. And if we weren't divided enough, then comes this movie. All right. Now they will put this movie out, but the black women should have been smart enough not to go see this crap, not to promote this crap, not to bow down and say, yeah, that's right, we did that. Because if you knew the real story, you would see nothing but traitorous betrayal by these queens. Same way it was in Egypt. And then you will see that they opened their legs for every Caucasian that decided they want to enslave and conquer Africa. I'm telling you what the history is. Not this Hollywood make-believe. And again, when I document Queen Nzinga, I want you to understand some things about what's going on there that people don't think critically about. At the end of the day, I want y'all to understand something. At the end of the day, these people want to run around and make you think that we were led by this. If they were so strong, the slave trade would have ended with the Portuguese. But if you really look at it, if you really took the time to look at what really happened, you will discover that not only was the betrayal really that deep, but at the end of the day, they didn't beat or win nothing. They preserved themselves, not the community, not the kingdom or queendom. The only people that's going to be down with this garbage are the ones that they were able to convince to go vote for the Democrats simply because black women have booties. All them suckers that fell for this are going to fall for that movie. Watch my words. With that said, I'm out.